Vermont nonprofits will be coming under the dome on Friday the 11th, and we will have a very jam-packed morning that includes a welcome from Speaker Shap Smith and also from the Chief of Staff for the Governor, Darren Springer, and the Chief of Military Affairs, Susan Allen, formerly the press secretary, but now one of the leaders of the governor's team. So they'll be briefing us. Then Ann O'Brien, who is a very well-respected House member and one of the architects of using results-based accountability in the legislature for budgeting and evaluation of projects, will be coming to talk about how the budget is being designed with results in mind. So that will be great. This will be the second year of a law that was passed a couple years ago with the help of Common Good Vermont and other nonprofit activists and the state, which embeds results-based accountability in the DNA of how the state does business. We'll have a presentation later on in the morning on Friday from Sue Zeller, the Chief Performance Officer, who is responsible for monitoring and making sure state agencies and departments use results to tell their story, and also from Drew Rusley, who is she's a policy leader at the Agency of Human Services, and she's been leading the revival of the Vermont Scorecard, which is basically a report card on how we're doing in serving Vermont's most vulnerable people, children, families. And those scorecards were developed in the early 2000s under Con Hogan, who was then the head of the Agency of Human Services. They fell out of use because really the data gathering capacity of the Agency of Human Services was gutted during that time. And now the AHS has brought back the scorecards, and Drew Rusley is leading that charge. So that will be, I think, of good interest to the folks attending, because this is data and these are stories that we can use to make the changes that we want in the building and with other policymakers. The middle of the morning will feature briefings from our friends who are lobbyists and spend a lot of time in the building. The Necrason Group will be there, Rebecca Ramos, Amy Schellenberger from Action Circles, Andy McLean from MMR. These are folks who have spent a lot of time in the building and really they work for many different clients. Andy tends to work for the business industry. Rebecca has a lot of labor clients. There are a number of labor issues of importance to the nonprofit sector that we will learn about and hear about. So we will have those briefings. And of course, Amy Schellenberger, a very good friend of Common Good Vermont, and is really a master of organizing and turnout when it comes to trying to get legislation passed. So it will be a great opportunity to have those folks there with us. You know, normally we spend a lot of time on Legislative Day talking about how to get things done. This year we're going to be talking more about what is happening and what actions you could be taking. And we're also going to wrap through the morning a discussion of how to tell our stories effectively. We're doing a lot of work here at Common Good around the state with the Community Foundation and others, creating a Vermont Story Lab with the Preservation Trust of Vermont, Vermont Works for Women, and other great partners. And storytelling is just a very important piece of the work that we have to do as nonprofits, both to generate revenue from funders and grant givers, philanthropists, but also to build support in the community for the actual work. So how to tell those stories and how to use this data, this information, what's happening under the dome, the scorecards, all of this information that is so rich, and weave it in with the stories of our own organizations will be part of what we talk about on Friday. And we'll have Kevin Gallagher there, who is a longtime storyteller and stand-up to help us with that work. We will also be featuring the nonprofit economic impact data, and Common Good has been collecting that for the past year, and we just spent a good deal of time updating that data. I was going to spend some time this morning giving you a little bit of a preview of that, and we'll be diving into it more on Legislative Day.